You believe your decisions are entirely your own. That your thoughts were born inside your mind. That the modern world has created problems no generation has ever faced. But what if I told you that men who lived more than 2,000 years ago had already uncovered almost everything about human nature? Throughout this week, we explored the minds of history's greatest thinkers. Each one discovered a different piece of the truth. Today, we're putting all of those pieces together. Because only when they connect does the full picture finally emerge. It all began with Socrates. While the people of Athens admired those who claimed to have all the answers, he asked only questions. To Socrates, humanity's greatest danger was not ignorance. It was believing you already knew enough. The person who never questions their own beliefs ends up living someone else's life. But knowing yourself was never the end of the journey. It was only the first step. Centuries later, Carl Gustav Jung revealed something Socrates could never fully explain. There is a hidden part of the human mind. The shadow. Every one of us carries fears, desires, and emotions we would rather ignore. The more we try to bury them, the more they silently shape our decisions. True freedom begins the moment we have the courage to face what we've spent our lives avoiding. But even after understanding yourself, there is still another challenge. The world. Other people. Loss. Pain. Uncertainty. That is where Marcus Aurelius offered one of the most powerful lessons ever written. You cannot control what happens to you. You can only control how you respond. Most suffering comes from trying to command what has never belonged to us. The opinions of others. The future. Luck. Circumstances. When we let go of that illusion, peace begins to take its place. Then came Friedrich Nietzsche. He believed that most people never truly become themselves. They repeat ideas, follow traditions, seek approval, and spend their entire lives trying to fit into someone else's definition of success. His challenge was simple. Become who you truly are. Even if it means walking a path no one else understands. Once you understand your mind, control your reactions, and build your own values, another question naturally appears. How does all of this play out in everyday life? This is where applied psychology enters the picture. Every day we are influenced by emotions, manipulation, social pressure, the need to belong. People who try to shape our choices without us even realizing it. The person who understands human behavior can recognize these traps before they become a prison. Self-awareness stops being an idea. It becomes protection. But knowledge without action changes nothing. That is the final lesson of this week's journey. Discipline. Habits. Purpose. None of these great thinkers changed history simply because they had brilliant ideas. They changed history because they lived by them. Small choices, repeated every single day, create extraordinary lives. There are no overnight transformations, only consistent action. Now notice something remarkable. Socrates taught you to question. Jung taught you to confront your shadow. Marcus Aurelius taught you to master your response. Nietzsche challenged you to create your own values. Applied psychology revealed how easily the mind can be influenced. And personal development reminded us that real change only comes through daily practice. Different centuries, different cultures, different lives. Yet they all reached the same conclusion. The greatest battle has never been against the world. It has always been within ourselves. Perhaps that is why these ideas have survived for thousands of years. Technology has changed. Cities have changed. Civilizations have risen and fallen. But human nature remains astonishingly the same. The same fears. The same desires. the same search for meaning. In the end, the real question is not, which philosopher was right? The real question is, which lesson will you choose to live by? Because knowledge stored in your mind is only information. Wisdom begins the moment it changes the way you live. And perhaps, the greatest revolution you will ever witness is not changing the world. It is changing the way you see yourself. Because when the mind changes, everything else follows. Thank you for joining this week's journey through philosophy and psychology. Next week, we'll begin another exploration into the timeless ideas that continue to shape the human mind today.